Hey, I'm working on my 16th QP for this month, so thankfully I've got one lion's eye thanks to my, I don't know, sheer dome lock that you've seen so far. Need 4 of them. Gotta make some ticks. Oh, Banisher Priest, I don't know what I'm looking at, I'm just sort of staring at the screen. Much better than the Corrupt with the Devote, certainly already. Now, absolutely, without a doubt, 100%, ask anybody who knows anything about anything. I'll tell you pacifism is the pick there, just so you know. I'm being more decisive with my responses now. I've decided to let you know that I am quite certain about some things. That is one of them. Perhaps I haven't made it clear enough in the past. It's the way I word things. Some things I'm definitely still not clear about, and will let it be known when that's the case. But I should make clear distinctions a little bit more often, I think. Griffin Sentinel is great, but I don't like him. It's not my style. Now Divination, Shortcutter, the Mythic for 40 cents. What's the pick here? Divination's great. I do like Shortcutter a lot. Just stay on color with this. It does fill out your deck. It's filler and everything. It's fine. It's a foil. It's whatever. I'll do the same thing. Do the exact same thing. I don't mind passing 2 of those. It's great. You know, it's like I'll just let somebody take them. Right? It's not the biggest deal. It's like excuse me. Even like this and this, I'm passing way more. I mean, this stuff's great. This is better than what I'm going to be taking. And so this is sort of at the point where it's like committing versus just not minding certain cards going, or committing to a color and how much that is valued compared to trying to go into a color of cards that you've been passing already. Like this is better than these. Because I'll take it. I don't want that Oromancer that much. Time Ebb, arguably better than Shock. That's arguable though. Excuse me. Let's see. The only card in my color for sure I don't want to play. I don't like those. I don't like the wall. I don't like this. It has so much blue. I'll take this. Nice. Nice foil rare. It's kind of cool to see that. That's a good card. I mean, in the right deck it's not good, but excuse me. In the very specific right deck it's great. Really difficult to get that deck. I mean, like, to build that deck you basically need, let's see, I'll tell you a specific number here. I mean, it makes it better with hexproof, by the way. If you've got some hexproof things, you need less enchantments, but let's say without a bunch of hexproof, at least, I'd say 6 enchantments to make this thing good. I mean, 5 is playable, but there's your minimum number, I'd say. Humbly. And it totally varies, I know, but just to put a figure on it. Man, Ratchet Bomb, I'm telling you, it's not as good as you might think, as it might seem. It's like, I don't know what it is about it. I could take this in case I get one of those enchantments. Actually, I totally know what it is about the Ratchet Bomb. I've explained it before, I think. Doesn't hit as many things like slow, whatnot. Oromancer, the Bubbling Cauldron. Or this, even, come to think of it. I passed so much blue, but I'm trying to go back into it. I mean, this is better than those white cards, for sure. And sure enough, there it is. Too bad I get it now. I'll take this over the Celestial Flare I could easily take. I mean, it's the safe pick, I think, the Celestial Flare, but I mean, this thing is that good. Try to take it. I think I jumped into blue when I shouldn't have. And you have to pass him all that blue that probably not get any back. No, but I won't get any of this back. I think I wasted a few picks there. The barrage is great with the Pyromancer and with just cards in general. I mean, it's absolutely great. I don't know, this might be better though. For me, I mean, I need to put a deck together. I am playing white, so it's the only assured thing. Assured thing, I don't think I could say that way. Assured, it's the only sure thing. Ay, ay, ay. Active Treason, nice. Ring Flash show is good. I wouldn't mind maybe some fix. I might have to play that though. Short Cutter. Oh, I like so much better than the Hive Stirrings or any of these other cards. Mind Rot is better than I play it. Better than I value it. Which is of course a weird concept, but for another day, perhaps. Lay the land. Wonderful. I should have maybe committed more to mono white. I did it the other day, and I played a control guy. It was kind of annoying. It was like very typical, and it just reminded me of years and years of knowing what not to do and the limitations of mono white. I mean, I'm playing the guy who's got Millstone eventually gets out and counters kind of thing, and it's just, you know, the later the game goes, the worse it is for you. You know, he's got card advantage and stuff, and I'm sitting here playing mono white trying to top deck. It's so difficult. If you don't win early, you might have trouble. Thankfully, a card like this allows you to like, top deck late, but even then, I mean, they've got negates going or whatever it is, right? Plenty of creatures anyways, and you end up just, this isn't the win that it could be or whatever, I don't know. This is good in conjunction with blue. Counters and whatnot by yourself to the late game and get to cast that. It's really nice. Well, I could be playing red as my second color. I don't want to waste my first pick on like, something like this. Corrupted, clearly don't have any black, oh that's great. Pitchburn Devils, by the way, not quite as good as Mindsparker. A lot of poop. It's a terrible pack. This is good. Better than this. 2 rare green enchantments. It's worth that extra mana. Capuchin Knight. Alright. Sucks to pick it like that, I mean, so early. I hate to do this, and I hate to even say this, but pacifism is better than shock. Even though it is important to balance out your colors if you're going to be playing 2. Not 100% sure I am, almost certainly, but I mean, if there's 2 cards of equal value, or very roughly, and you've got a really unbalanced 2-color build, then try to lean towards the card which is the color of the cards you have less of, because that color is harder to play if you've barely got any, as opposed to if it's a little bit more balanced with your other color, about 50-50, or at least roughly, because that way you can make the lands like a 9-8 or 10-7 or something, as opposed to if you've only got, let's say, 4 or 5 cards of a color that you're playing. I mean, it poses a lot of problems, but your mana base is really screwed. Essentially, you have to have enough to get those colors, or to get that color, and then it messes into your other color base, and you don't have enough, and you have to play too many, and whatever. It's a whole problem. So, if possible, very vaguely try to balance out your colors. I mean, you can splash for some really important things and whatnot, but if you're just playing a basic 2-color kind of deck, like it seems I am right now, apparently, and try to balance out the 2 colors a little bit. And of course, it only comes into play if there's a card that is versus another card, and they're both very, very similar, and you're not really sure where to go, but the only difference is that one of them is a color of cards that you've got less of. Rarity. rarities. I have a couple big ones. Oh, right, 2 mythics. Good God, that'd be illegal. Okay. I said I wasn't gonna get good blue. Just not right at all. The guy's not in blue. I don't think. I don't know what to do. Dismiss into Dream, Mark of the Vampire, Scroll Thief, all good. Advocate, Claustrophobia. All the cards that I'm going to be passing are better than the one I'm taking, I think. Except for Fog, Out of Ruin. But Dismiss into Dream, that'll screw me over. Not playing those colors though, I mean. Once again, too bad I didn't have that enchantment. Like Time Ebb is better than that. Here's somebody cancel too. Oh god, I will. Okay, well, this is me drafting. This is a very classic example as far as I'm concerned of what could go wrong. And just a drafting experience. I mean, honestly, this was my fault, sort of. Oh, beautiful. I think I controlled it enough that I gave him bad signals and that he didn't know what to do because I didn't know what to do. I was playing it terribly. But I don't know. I mean, it's just your average draft, sort of, unless you're totally perfect into it. And manage to cut off certain colors and just know exactly what you want. Sort of the 2020 hindsight. Then you can end up with decks like this, which aren't bad, but our drafts are like this, where you end up seeing those cards like late like that, where you should have been, as it were, in a certain color, it seems. And there could have been easily something to be said for me not jumping into blue. I maybe missed a signal or something early. Very, very likely. I mean, I passed a whole bunch of it. I was talking about it. I think I gave red too much weight after a certain pick. I forget. One of these early ones. A shock or something. Blessing I might not play. Probably not play the Blessing. Very likely. It's not great in 2 colors. Yeah, no, I didn't explain very clearly what I was mumbling about there with drafts, but it's just, it feels like you're doing something wrong, I think, when you see a lot of good cards in other colors, and you have to keep passing them. It feels like you missed something, and often that is the case. Well, you've got the barrage in there. Now I can play those. Wonderful. Well, it's simple. No matter what happens, I at least came up with something. I mean, I'm sure as hell got a chance. This is how I sleep, by the way. I just make it rain. I used to use a YouTube video. It was fine. My internet went down. And it was like, oh my god, I don't have internet. I'm not going to fall asleep to raid. Still good. Must win. Nice to see that Suntail Hawk on time. Not quite as good late game as one might imagine. Whenever you're playing a little creature deck like this, basically is what this is. What you want to have in mind always is, if possible, help out those little creatures. I mean, they'll be fine by themselves, but you'd have to throw them in bad situations, then doing alpha strikes and losing them, and you're not going to know necessarily when to trade them, and they might not even get through at all, and might not do anything really, unless you have little tricks for them. Even just simple tricks like this, where you can get that extra bit of damage in or whatever, but you need those little things to, I know it's a very vague concept, but just simple things to affect the board or whatever. It's even more important when you've got little creatures. Of course, at the same time, then, that should limit your, or lower your count of cards like that, like tricks and whatnot, because if you're playing little creatures, generally speaking, you should have more of them versus the number of creatures you'd have in a more controlled deck. Just simple concepts, but certainly the case. Overwhelming them, right, with little creatures. You can't just play like one little creature and then that's your whole aggressive party. This could be terrible, I have no idea. It seems like it's bad. I'm supposed to play the Charging Griffin. I don't know, I'd have to think about it too long. Yeah, probably I was just stuck. This doesn't really matter. I don't think. Great card. I will be putting up my pick order any day now. Almost done. And that card's up there. As much as I would be somewhat satisfied with a just simply a pack one, pick order, I would love, absolutely love to make a more in-depth one, a pick two pick order, pick three even. Have somebody beside me or just a computer where I input the things so it would, whatever, calculate them. I would love that so much. That was so stupid of me. I don't know why. I just forgot that I would even tap it. I didn't have to play this. Maybe I did it in the right order still, but I could have played something else, I think, somehow. Maybe done it differently. Don't mind me mumbling, just talk to myself. Try to keep myself honest. No, I'm gonna have to make the worst Master Priest ever, maybe. I'll do it. I guess the wall. sort of know what I'm doing. Very vaguely, at least. Thank goodness there's no one summoned, and I'll move on to the second round. Right on. What can I expect, or what can I ask for more than that? These good hands, one of each colored mana. Wonderful. I like to full screen it, but I don't have access to my hotkeys. Which will get fixed, by the way. I need to get a new computer, and I'll be able to go back to my old system. I can't even put a background now on. I used to have a game like this, right, and things around the border, but I cannot because it tells me I don't own my computer, so it keeps changing that. If I put something in the background, it'll go back to black, saying I don't own everything, basically. Punishment for not registering. What do I do here? See if I attack, he knows, but I can just basically get away with the damage. Or, of course, if he blocks, but it's sort of bad now because I gave away my hand. But I got essentially free damage in, I think. Because if he wants to be offensive with this, he's got to have another creature to be defensive with again, or else I get to attack back. So it's sort of, whatever, getting away with it, as it were. I think I'll do it this way. He's got a pump spell to waste my whole turn. Darn it. That's alright, though. I could have just easily played the Maulhorn. Would have been safer, I think. Well, I really should block, I believe. Taking 7, going to 10, possibly more, isn't the worst thing. Could almost kill him back with a threaten. Act of treason, whatever. I don't want to take too much damage. Wonderful. Not being too sarcastic, it wasn't that bad, I suppose, at all. Well, this is going to be a race. I don't know if I can win. Possibly, though. Certainly could have played it better. That's not what I wanted to see. I wanted a big creature. Sort of. I do want to steal something. Can't believe it might be this. Wonderful. Oh my god, right? I don't deserve that, that's for sure. Maybe this? I don't know why. It seems better this time. It's closer to death, I suppose. Fog. I'm always terrified about fog. It's like one of those cards. It's like the X Factor. Fog. This might not actually be the worst thing against him. Like lifelink kind of thing. This might not be bad to help combat those crazy creatures. Burp, excuse me, good God. Terribly rude of me. Oh, I got my combo going. That's nice. Oh, poor guy. Missing land drops ain't fun. Nice. Monster Buster Club is on. It's a cool show I can't wait to get all of someday. It's one of those shows that's whatever, just all CG. I think like Reboot was one of the first ones. I remember way back in the day. It was sort of cool where they didn't have to animate everything. I'm sure it was the whole big deal in that world. Seems like the biggest waste ever. Might in fact be, but I can justify that quite easily. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Must have drawn like crap. Like, must have been one of those weird hands where it's like quite good, but sort of a little iffy. Maybe he's got it though. Flash Fire. I would not be surprised. I really would not. That's way too sketchy, to be honest. He should have had something, I think, with all that mana and all. Everything. Or that. Good God. I just forget to put the Briar Pack. if I can just do it right now. Or if it's just best to steal this. Resolving it with 2 angels, or getting 2 angels on the board. It's pretty much ridiculously important, come to think of it. As opposed to getting, oh my god, that's right, I get 3. I was going to say, as opposed to waiting for another one. I completely forgot. Oh, that's cool. I don't know why I was going to active treason that thing. Getting lucky. Yeah, like the divination and everything. It's nice. Nice. Very nice of you, sir. Right between rounds, as I've shown many times. If I didn't have this game, I don't know what I'd have. It's definitely the best. I mentioned it before as the creative yin to the logical magic yang. That's basically what it is to me. I'm still torn. I want to make this city, this whole world, exactly how I wanted. It'll take incredibly a lot of work, though. I mean, years and years and years. So, I'm thinking of, as I've mentioned recently, turn this into the world that we can all share and we can all build together. It'd be really cool. Make this the magic Minecraft world. And, yeah, I'm gonna set up systems of trading and whatnot in here. It'll be good. There we go, that's a hand I expect. I'm almost happy with it. Well, I want the chance to win. I hate this. I don't know, it's funny because it's like, I really don't want, I'm not trying to ask them for it, right, by any means. steal somebody's shit first. Like, I don't trust people. Like, I don't know, it's funny because it's like, I don't know, whatever, I'm not gonna get into it about trust and shit. Anyways, fucking hate this. I wish you could just right click. It used to say offer split in the finals. I will never get ripped off. I have a few times, but I'm certainly not going to. Well, there's the whole deal.